I think the greatest thing about Poly is that it presents a lot of opportunities to students.
I really want this to become a place where people say, you know, that Poly, that's where the whole VR revolution started.
Aside from that, there's also the opportunities you can get here, especially scientific opportunities for research, like the stuff that I did working with Johns Hopkins on prosthetic limbs and devices.
Poly is the perfect place to see what you're interested in and really help show you that learning can be fun.
Welcome to the opening of our virtual reality lab. This marks the beginning of a remarkable accomplishment of Poly seniors and the generosity of the class of 1963. The idea and creation of the Poly VR lab was led by the efforts of the VR lab founders, Anders Hartmark, Max Bretmeyer, Xander Easton, and Ivan Chin Van Dyke, all members of the Poly graduating class of 2018.
I'm Eric Johnson with the Poly class of 63. Wendell Leinbach, Arnold Miller, and Tom Feketa. Can't thank and commend these gentlemen enough for what they've done. Thank my classmates, not just the three gentlemen here with me, but our entire class, not just for their assistance in contributing funds to this enterprise, but for the other opportunities that they presented to us to assist in the school. So it's really with a lot of pleasure and pride to commend these young men for what they've accomplished. And we're so delighted to have you all here today to view the results of their handiwork.
The work of the VR Lab is vitally important to the mission and vision of Poly. And here at the Poly Foundation, we want to applaud the student founders of this lab, along with the class of 1963, for creating and funding this VR Lab. We know that the world is growing incredibly fast, and Poly has always heavily invested in the educational and enrichment opportunities of our students. We know that we are training the next generation of engineers, scientists, and business leaders. These students are innovative and they can help us discover the answers to today's and tomorrow's problems. Therefore, it is important to invest in them.
I think myself as a Poly student really emphasizes the fact that Poly is a great school. We have a lot of schools that compete for students in the city. There's a lot of private schools, but I think really making the VR lab happen here and showing that students can accomplish amazing feats with the help of the resources here at Poly shows that this is the place to be if you want to be an engineer.
How does it make me feel to know that people care enough to make these labs? It makes me feel very happy. The fact that people care enough to donate, thousands of dollars to the creation of these labs is mind-boggling.
The labs have changed my life as a student because it's given me the opportunity to really experiment with what I know and what I think I know. So it's allowed me to expand what I know about how computers can handle various processes, and it's also allowed me to expand what I know about coding in general.
I'm really thankful to the Poly class of 63 for their help in just funding our endeavors here, because without them, we wouldn't have been able to put together any of this.
The VR Lab has already revolutionized our science classes. It is challenging and changing how our teachers think about teaching, and it is changing how our students actually grasp concepts and content. It is allowing our teachers to build upon traditional educational practices by literally allowing kids to learn by experiencing the world through groundbreaking and powerful technologies. We really want to take this opportunity and thank the class of 1963 for their investment into this VR lab. This is a prime example of what happens when alumni give back to Poly. These sorts of enrichment opportunities simply could not happen on the district funding alone, and it is thanks to the alumni and friends and supporters of Poly that opportunities like this can happen for the city of Baltimore, for our students here at Poly, and to maintain and grow the tremendous Poly legacy upon which we stand. So thank you.